Hi, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of the Rapid Subconscious Reprogramming community. Today, I wanted to talk about this topic that, again, as you guys know, I like, bringing some controversy to here. I want to talk about the most effective ways not to make behavior changes. I keep talking, when we did the live and talking on the challenge, and talking with a lot of people. Today even had another conversation with another guy that he had been trying to make changes. He had tried, going to a big event that happens from a big name out there, right? And then he also started trying to work with a Navy SEAL, and he was still stuck. So I started explaining to him, why is it that those type of things are not working anymore? And this is what I want to share today. So thank you for being here. If you're watching live, #live on social media. If you're watching replay, #replay. That will be awesome. So hey, Mary. Hey, Susan. Thank you for being here again. Let me change camera so now that you can see me. Here we go. Nope. Sorry, not this one. Oops. This one over here. There you go. That looks much better. So why is it that a lot of people are not being able to make real changes in their life? They're temporary. They know they start maybe doing some dieting, and then they stop, and then they go back to eating, or people start going to a gym and then they stop again. And they are very difficult to find ways to truly create habits, behaviors that stick around. And this is a little bit what I want to talk a little bit today, right? The most effective ways not to make behavior changes is, one, when I want my wife, a family member, or even a friend to change something that I don't like, do I go to them and tell them like this, hey, I want you to stop this, and I, get so much fear into them to try to get them to change? How does that sound? Do you try to get others to change by inflicting pain or causing a lot of fear in them so that they change? Would you do that to a partner? Would you do that to a family member? Yes or no? Type it in the chat if you would scare the shit out of somebody to try to get them to change. Would that be loving? Would that be supporting? Would that be understanding? Of course not. Thank you there. Yes, I used to do that, Mary. Okay, you used to. But did that really work? But not anymore. There you go. So the problem is, guys, that we're in a new world in a way, quote unquote, right? If you like it into astrology, we can talk a little bit about the Aquarius age. Aquarius means emotions, water. Water means emotions. We got to deal with our emotions, and not in that way of, again, scaring the shit out of ourselves to try to get things done. That is one of the biggest things that I see people using to change. Setting maybe a deadline, right? You got to do something, so you set a deadline, and we've seen it at school. We've seen it at some, doing some courses, trainings, or even universities, some people that went, right? We set deadlines, and that kind of gets us to do the things that we need to do. Why is that? Because we got to understand this. We have the fear to do and the fear, right, of not doing, the fear of doing and the fear of not doing. And the thing, what happens most of the times is a lot of people have fear of not doing, right? That is lower than the fear of doing. So the fear of doing would be this hand over here. Yes, this hand over here would be the fear of doing, meaning doing it wrong, not doing it awesome, not doing it perfect, right? Making a mistake. So the fear is doing is higher than the fear of not doing. This would be over here, the fear not doing. As we set a time frame, we say, okay, I need to do this by the end of August, and we're getting there. Today is the 28th. The fear of not doing starts getting closer to the fear of doing. And then many times it overrides it. So I have more fear of not doing what I need to do, doing my taxes, I don't know, filing this over here for, or asking for a refund, or, I'm something to the government that I need to get money back, or, I don't know, something that I need to do for my job, presentation, whatever. So the fear of not doing, the consequences of not doing start bringing so much fear in that the fear of not doing becomes higher than the fear of doing. Then I end up doing. The problem is, again, as you're listening to what I'm saying, guys, realize this is that I'm doing out of fear either way. So I need to understand that doing out of fear works. Yes, it works for some people. It doesn't work for most people. And the most important thing is that it starts damaging the motor. It starts damaging me. Why? Because it generates a lot of anxiety, a lot of stress. So we start burning ourselves out. It's like using the wrong fuel for a vehicle. Eventually, that vehicle is going to start having problems. Why? Because again, it is using the wrong fuel. So fear can be used as fuel. Yes, it can be, and a lot of people use it, and a lot of people teach this, but that doesn't mean it's the right way. Because for me, if I pour one fuel or the other to my truck, I'm not going to see any different at the beginning, maybe, but eventually the truck is going to, break down. I'm going to take it to the mechanic, and the mechanic is going to say, "Hey, Tommy, you're so stupid that you put something into the, tank that you shouldn't. That's why you broke down your truck." It's like, oh, okay, I didn't know that. So many times we're paying a high cost for running the fuel, right? Fear. So the first thing that most people are doing are using fear as a driver to get things done. And people are not realizing that that has a big cost, that eventually it's going to catch up and we're going to have to pay. And normally it's with health. Yes, normally it's with health. So we need to understand that that is not an effective way. That's why I'm saying this is most effective ways not to make behavior changes. Another way is being really hard on you to try to make things change. Again, you wouldn't go to a partner of yours and tell them, right, I want you to change. This is not working anymore. I'm fed up, whatever. Yes, it could be a mixture of fear, or it could be just being hard on them so that they change. Normally, when you are hard on somebody else, that person tends to shut down. Am I right or am I wrong? Yes or no? What do you think? If you're hard on somebody, do they normally tend to react in an open, listening, wanting to know more, or do people tend to shut down and maybe even get into defensive mode? What do you think? Yes or no? Right? Normally, people that are in a way pushed, right, not treating in a very loving way, they tend to shut down. They don't tend to react the way that we want. So if I want somebody to stop doing something, if I go to them and tell them, I want you to stop this, I don't like this anymore, normally this person might shut down because they're feeling attacked, or they might retaliate because they're feeling attacked. So if it's not okay to go and tell somebody, hey, I want you to change, I don't want this anymore, if you wouldn't do it like that, you would try to sit down and explain to that person why you think that what they're doing is not okay, or it's, maybe quote unquote hurting you in a way that we've spoken about that, but I don't want to go deeper with that, right? The best way is to sit down and have an open heart, open mind communication coming from love. And that is going to make it more, there are going to be more chances that the person might want to change because you're coming out of love and support and understanding, right? But when I come very harsh to somebody else, that person normally tends to shut down, tends to not want to listen. So if I do that to somebody else and the person tends to shut down or gets defensive and even retaliates, attacks back, so it doesn't work what my intention was at the beginning to get that person to change, listen to this next question. Why do I do it to myself? Why do I do those things to myself where I kick myself in the butt, where I push myself, where I ignore even my negatives, as I've spoken so many times? Another great way not to change behaviors is by ignoring your negatives. We need to understand that the negatives are there for a reason. If I ignore my negatives, I'm just ignoring, repressing a part of me, and I'm not dealing with our emotions. And again, as I was saying at the beginning, if you believe in astrology, right, in the different, signs that there is, Capricorn, Aquarius, and many other, Scorpion, Cancer, all those, many represent different traits. And I am Capricorn, and I'm a person that is, it goes and goes and goes, right? Like a goat, it goes up, right? Up the hill, even when things are difficult. I tend to go up. Many times I used to sabotage and many other things that were there because of my belief system, right? But again, we're talking back again about what we're saying at the beginning about Aquarius. Aquarius needs, we need to deal with our emotions. So our negatives are part of us that we need to deal with. If we try to ignore them, repress them, kick them away, it's going to be very difficult to change a behavior, because as I have said many times, imagine a person that is a people pleaser. A people pleaser created the pleasing others as a way to receive love, to feel accepted. So when you reject the part of you that is acting as a people pleaser, what you're actually doing, you are adding more fuel into a fire. So you're going to turn into normally more people pleasing, or the same people pleasing. You're not going to stop that because you're beating yourself up because you're a people pleaser, or whether it is that you're drinking, or whether it is that you are watching videos online and you lose yourself into hours of that, or whatever it is that you're doing. If you want to change a behavior, the first step to be able to change a behavior is to love and accept that part of you behind the behavior. So by bringing a lot of fear to change, is it love and acceptance? Yes or no? Is love and acceptance bringing fear to make changes? Yes or no? Type it in the chat, please. Of course not. Basic question, but very important. Second, kicking yourself in the butt, pushing yourself to get things done. Is that loving? Yes or no? Of course not. Of course not. Thank you. So no, that either. And ignoring, repressing your negatives is not the solution either. So if we keep following this path of kicking ourselves in the butt, ignoring our negatives, trying to make changes through fear, that it can work for some people, but it is the wrong fuel. Unfortunately, in most cases, you're not going to be able to make changes in your life. Yes, it's going to be very difficult to make changes in your life by, again, kicking yourself in the butt to change a behavior, to develop discipline. No, it's not going to work for most people. That's why most people are struggling with that. Creating fear, it's not going to work for most people. And ignoring your negatives is not going to work. So those three things are amazing, because are amazing in a negative sense, because a lot of people are teaching those things. People are teaching the Dickens method, where it teaches you to scare the shit out of yourself to try to change a behavior. People are teaching you to kick yourself in the butt, to force yourself to do something. Just go do it. And I listen to this, or I read this in so many places, platform, social media. I keep seeing over and over again these people saying, oh, just do it, like Nike, just go do it. No, it's not about just go do it. Understand why you're not doing it. Understand why the mind is protecting you. Again, as I said, a part of me became a people pleaser because I wanted to feel loved and accepted by others. So if I kick myself in the butt because I'm a people pleaser, if I try to ignore it, if I try to repress it, I'm not loving and accepting that part of me that created that behavior in the first place to try to feel loved and acceptance. So what we need to work more is loving and accepting the part of me that created that behavior in the first place, because through that process, I'm going to truly be able to change. Because again, if I created perfectionism, overthinking, whatever it is that I created to protect myself from not because I want to feel loved and acceptance, protect, or because I wanted to feel love and acceptance, the two main drivers, and we're going to talk more about that in human behavior, right? That part of me needs to receive what it didn't receive in the first place that created a behavior that is now getting in the way of what I want to do, what I want to accomplish, whatever it is. So behavior was created out of a protective mechanism. In my case, as I said, people-pleasing was created to try to feel loved and accepted. Some people might, want to become successful to prove others wrong that they are good enough. That, in a way, is to try to feel loved and accepted. Other people are trying to make a lot of money. Other people are trying to have a big house and a Lamborghini or a Ferrari or whatever car to try to show off to others, to try to feel loved and accepted. Other people want to be kind to be loved and accepted. Other people, again, want to be perfect to be loved and accepted. Each one of us have their own story, and it's okay because we have our human side and our spiritual side. In the human side, everybody out there is trying to feel loved and accepted. And we're all going to go look out there, whatever we can, to try to feel loved and accepted. And the other thing that we're going to talk another later session, right, is about numbing the pain of the lack of love and acceptance. So every behavior is there for a reason. Even the worst behaviors, the violent behaviors, the abusive behaviors, the narcissist behaviors, they are there for a reason. If we attack that behavior, if we attack that part of us that is behaving like that, if we try to scare the shit out of ourselves to try to get things done, it ain't going to happen. And this is what I want to share today with you guys. The most effective ways not to make behavior changes is 3 that I mentioned. There are more, but 3 that I mentioned, main ones. Try to make it out of fear. Try to make changes out of fear. It can work for some people, yeah, but it has a big toll in the mind and in the body, and it can be seen as sickness. Second, right, by pushing or kicking yourself in the butt to get things done, just go do it. Or third, by ignoring, repressing the negatives. Those 3 main things are gonna get you stuck. Instead, I want to bring this new way, different way to truly deal with negative behaviors that you're trying to change, or even create new behaviors. If you keep trying what you're trying, what most people are teaching out there, I promise you, you're gonna stay stuck and things are not going to work. Or they might work temporarily, but eventually you're going to have to pay the high cost that driving through fear your life is going to cause in your mind or in your body. So I recommend that, again, if you try to, a kid, imagine my son, if I want him to change a behavior, yes, I can scare him a lot to try to get him to change a behavior. But maybe breaking toys, I've seen this in the past, kids breaking toys, it was their way to get attention. Although it was negative attention, it was still attention. So a kid creating a behavior, breaking things up, right, could be a way of getting attention. So instead of screaming at him, yelling at him, punishing him because he's breaking stuff, try to understand the behavior behind that. Because when we're able to understand the behavior behind that, we're able to start making changes in whatever area we're looking to change, whether it is relationships, whether it is financially, whether it is growing your business, changing jobs, asking somebody out, whatever it is, you need to understand why that behavior is there first, love and accept the part of you that created that behavior, and then start trying to change that behavior. But if you keep kicking yourself in the butt, try to bring fear to do stuff, and I've seen that many times, it might get you so far, a little bit far, but eventually you're going to have to pay for it. And I've seen a lot of people out there, even successful people, some millionaires, having a breakdown mentally, emotionally, or even physically because they were using the wrong fuel. And this is what I want to share with you guys today. So thank you very much for being here, for watching. If you're loving this, let me know. Thank you, JP, Suzanne, Mary, Romana. Thank you, Tahir. Seeing you there, Stevan, and anybody else watching. Thank you very much for watching. I hope this helps you understand that what most people are teaching out there are the most effective ways not to make changes. Or if you make changes, it's going to bring a big cost to your mind or your body. So you can choose whatever you want. But the truth is, I recommend that you challenge what I'm saying and that you challenge what others have taught you. I've been studying the mind for 14 years, and since childhood, I was very emotional. And all these techniques about forcing myself, pushing myself, try to create a lot of fear to get things done, although it worked for me temporarily, it brought me to very dark places eventually. And I want to help people not go that way. And I see even big names out there teaching these things, and it's not the most efficient way to make changes. So I hope that makes sense. Tommy, what is the fastest way to move forward from my upbringing limits? Thank you, JP. Thank you for sharing that. So I'm going to stay here on Zoom with the people on Zoom. Thank you very much. Dina, thank you very much for dropping a message there on social media. Again, if you're watching this on my profile on social media, let me know. That would be great. If you're liking this, let me know. You know, hit the love emoji in there, if that would be great. More people engage on this video, more people get to see it. And I do this every week on the community to share free value to help as many people as possible. So as I'm trying to help people, it would be great if you can help me get this word out, sharing this with as many people as you can, so that we can stop this nonsense of pushing ourselves to try to make changes, because it's not working. Fear, pushing, or ignoring is not working anymore. We got to find a much better way, and that's what I'm sharing over here. So thank you very much. I hope you enjoyed this, and see you around, guys. Bye.